pick of Badgers came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he finds Penny. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be second down.
And the big guy catches the ball in the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson, he'll find Metcalf. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. This is Carson. And an alley to run. Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson, 44 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
On second down, it's Keller. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit. But how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level, one of the best players in the game. That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. They run. It's Gurley. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
After all he's been through, I want to talk about Eric Berry, and it was really tough for any NFL fan to see him go down the opener in New England last year. But one thing we know about him, he's resilient. This is a man who's beat cancer to come back and play at an all-pro level. And why? He can cover in the deep zones. He drops down into... box in the run game, and he can blitz the quarterback. You name it, Eric Berry can do it.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. And this is caught by Watkins. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you'd gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Now again, right side, Carson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it 2nd down and 11. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it 2nd down and 11.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And Myers able to knock it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And you work so hard during the regular season to earn that bye to go to the divisional round fresh. Well, maybe they're too fresh because they've come out here pretty flat.
And how many times have we seen it? And let's go to other sports now. Let's go to basketball, baseball, those ones where the playoffs are a series. And you see teams who were playing before versus the team that had the bye, and they take them on. And how many often does that team that had been playing before win game 1?
Right.
Almost always, right? Feels that way anyway. But it's a one-shot deal like the NFL. That's critical because now you come in and you get the momentum. You can take them out in that one game, and it's over. And those other ones, that team at home usually gets a chance to recover, and they're usually the better team.
Well, they better halt that momentum on the other side quickly, or this might be their last game. On first down, Kelly. And he's got this down to the 35. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the two tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run as they are now on the board here in the first half. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Chris Carson trotting back out there. It may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Levante David. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you, and that may have been what happened there.
He's got the first down here inside the 30, and all the way down to the 25-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Back to the ground, this time to Gurley. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here a throw taken in by Watkins. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
They'll look to throw here. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And that'll bring up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll drop the throw. He gets it to Gurley, complete. And Gurley here fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. He's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter. Finished with over 300 yards on the night. Later ended up in the NFL. If you got a talented back, give it back to him.
We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared?
They've got his man complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 89 yards. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Well, they talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. 2nd and 3. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll look to throw now on first down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. 2nd and 14. And this is caught by Watkins. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Strong run. Say alpha. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Ready?
He'll drop to throw. He'll fire one end zone for Cooks. And it's caught. Touchdown. Brandon Cooks, 32 yards. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So here's the home side to take over on offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're
is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Throw left side complete. That's Howell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. This quarterback now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on 1st down. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And this is back down to a 7-point game. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field when you go make a play on the football.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson is complete to Lockett. The 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the 3rd quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here's the home side to take over on offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one's maybe...
And he's going to go down again. David Onyemata. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That backs them up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Wilson. And he's got it. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
Go! 18 Gator.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Completes it to Dixon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Looking to throw. And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 33 yards that time. Back to throw. And that's complete to Cooks. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Great gain wins back-to-back. Last time over 30 yards, better than 20 here. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On first and goal, Gurley. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Todd Gurley with his second touchdown of the night. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rush in the regular season. Got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him. And he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main cog.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. Chris Carson trotting back out there. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now Wilson. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off near the 42. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Michael Kendricks able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. And the great veteran Eric Berry back to knock that one away.
So it looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Here we go.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And right now they're just looking for a little more cushion, trying to make this a 2-score game. Points here would go a long way, obviously, to propelling them into the next round.
And this is where the head coach, offensive coordinator, they've had to set a tone all year long about what they do on offense. So most teams want to stay in attack mode, but you have to do it with some bit of caution, don't you? Because you can't come away with no points. You need these points here in order to feel a lot better about where they are in this game.
At this time of the year, playoffs, game of this magnitude, this is what we hope for.
Yeah, it's exactly what we hope for. You want to run your offense cautiously, but not so cautiously that you just give it up.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
To throw again is Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Aaron Donald in there for a milestone sack. That's number 150 of his great career. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. So here is the home side to take over on offense. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. They try right side here. Gurley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I used to joke with my teammates who carried the ball a lot. When we got in these situations and they were carrying us home, I used to tell them, boy, you guys just look like Paul Bunyan, just growing stronger, bigger, tougher. And all night long, he's carried this team.
He has indeed. Everything magnified right now. A huge 3rd down conversion.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. Incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Back to the ground game here. Gurley. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive can take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Forced out to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. Back to throw here. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. And finding the tight end, Wilson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
They're running with Gurley. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll look to throw. And Dixon has it. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Back to throw. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 12-yard line. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. He's back to throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This will be 3rd and a mile. And this is caught at the 8. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Game on the line, season on the line. They're going for it here on fourth down. He'll look to throw, and that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and as a result, their playoff run may end right here. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on fourth down. They're now 1 for 3 on fourth down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on fourth down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped him 2 out of 3 times.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 30, past the 20, and he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Shaquille Griffin with a pick, and he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes.
Offside defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They decide.